Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update for everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. So, it's been a big 24 hours. There's been a lot to get through. That's why today's episode is a little bit later than I wanted, by a couple of hours. The first thing that I want you guys to know is that we have Smart Node 1.6.2 released. This is a mandatory update for all users. Now, I don't think there's been a mandatory update for Rocket Pool ever. Maybe, well, this is a mandatory update. Now, let's go back in time a little bit and find out what went wrong that a mandatory update was released today. So, at 1:35 a.m. Eastern time is when the new rewards period started for Rocket Pool. So people were entitled to claim their rewards. And here we had Kane, who said rewards would be in a few seconds. And then the period started and people weren't able to claim their rewards right away. But then Joe told us, oh, don't worry. It has to wait until the epoch after the next one is finalized before the new Merkle tree system can populate, which will let people know what their rewards are and how to claim them. So that happened, and that time started, and then all working expected so far. And then it's like a NASA live cast, Joe says, and then the block was going to get finalized, and then I'm sorry, I'm scrolling, there's just so much today. So what happens is then the next update is from any time around here where the ODAO start populating the tree. So we build tree, this is tree 0, we'll run all the way back to right now and check it, and then basically it's like trees upon trees every 4 weeks from now onwards, and like it makes a really cool way to build everything. So now it says Fizz has built the tree, so we have one tree, and then Fizz went first. There's the transaction on Etherscan, and then we have it was confirmed. First 2 routes are good, so that's the second one. The third one matches, and we need 8 of them to match in order for it to be confirmed. And then 4 out of 5 are in, and then Kane's giving updates as they're coming in. So it's looking like it's all good so far. 7 out of 8, and then Joe shares the Etherscan link again, and then 8 out of 8 Rocket Pool team has that. So our ODAO 2 is about to submit. So now all 8 out of 8 are through. So at this point, 20 minutes after the original claim time started, you should be able to start getting your claims. However, so we have consensus. So all 8 trees match each other. They all work. So that's fantastic so far. So then we start. Fizz says my records indicated that something occurred, as in like everything went through. So everyone's like, well done, Joe, because everything went through. And it's just been really great, and everyone's really happy, and it's really great to see. And people are saying pop moment, and garlic bread is here, and everyone's really happy. However, we start getting issues around now. So like Rocket Pool, Node, and Claim seems to be hanging longer than normal. Mine's taking 1,000 years. I could not get Node rewards post, and then there's error. So people start getting errors, and Sneaky Ninja Guy says my CPU usage has started mooning. So now people are starting to see there's something's gone wrong, and Joe's kind of sweating, and everybody's like, what's going on? So basically, if you have a look at this like Rare Bunny shared Digraphana, and shows that CPU temperature has gone way up, the wait times have gone up, the temperatures have all gone up, everything's like kind of spiking over here. Look, CPU usage has skyrocketed. It's not looking good. Like, what's going on? So at 2 a.m. Eastern time, which is where Joe lives, he lives in Boston, he says, I guess I have work to do. And he says, I swear it wasn't like this. It wasn't like this on Praetor, I swear. So that's where stuff starts to go wrong. Now we're going to fast forward a little bit. And now the time is 2:54. So an hour after the first problem started coming through, Joe says, okay, I found the problem at least. Let's see if I can fix it. It's not easy to fix. So basically what the problem is Joe here gives a TLDR. He says it walks through the logs for the contract, trying to look out for the event that gets emitted where the ODAO submits the snapshot. It doesn't know when it is. So it starts with the block we deployed Rocket Pool, which is like 13 million. And since then, there've been 3 million blocks. So basically the smart contract is kind of looking for, the tree is kind of looking for that block and trying to look for the root of the tree for 3 million blocks and trying to find it. So everyone's machines are going kind of like bonkers at this point because it's taking way longer than it should to find it, obviously, because it's going through millions and millions of blocks and epochs to try to get there. So just as we're patching it now with block numbers, since we know what it is and can guess a good window for the next intervals, a true fix will require writing the block number to the chain upon snapshot submission. So that's where the problem went wrong. Now that was at 3 a.m. Well, Joe has an idea what the problem is at like 3:25 and starts giving information about it. The next thing is Joe says, I have a fix at 6 a.m. So in that time, people have been like kind of sharing their thoughts and like all their CPU usage screenshots and everything. It's been going on all night. It's 6 a.m. now. Joe's been awake for a really long time and he's been working really hard on this and he's trying to figure it all out. He's doing a great job. But then the fix doesn't come through until 9:02 a.m. 9:12 a.m. So Joe basically spent 7 hours of working on trying to get this issue fixed, and it worked all night, and now you're able to claim your rewards. So there was a lot of drama last night. I think, like Joe said, they understand what the issue is. The rewards were not impacted at any point. Some people were able to claim, as far as I can tell, but most people were not able to claim, except now this morning, everybody's been able to claim. Like if you look at events, I think you can see that like there've been some big claims that have happened in that period. Let me see. Oh, I didn't have any loaded, so sorry about that. But there have been people who have claimed. Let me go back in time. You can see some from this morning once it went through. Yeah, forget it. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you can claim your rewards now. So yeah, so Joe worked really hard all night long and finally got everything up and running. There's nothing to be worried about. All funds are safe. All rewards are fine. And it's just a few machines got really hot overnight and CPU temperatures were like in the very high temperatures. And yeah, it was not good for some of those machines, but everything seems to be back to normal now and it's all running well. So good job. Okay, next we have something from Bankless people. So tomorrow is the Bankless Bullcast at 1 p.m. Eastern or 10 a.m. Pacific, I think. You might want to check with the Bankless website. It says over here, look at the brain on this guy. Damn, this is a fantastic fucking agenda. So they were sharing the ideas about what's going to be included in the bullcast, and Messari replies by saying, dude, we have a rock solid bull case. I hope your audience is ready. So this going to be really exciting. I think the whole community is going to be watching that like live and sharing our insights and trading as it's happening. And Ken and Maso, I know for sure, are going to do us really proud because they know this stuff inside out and they're really on it. So that's going to be really exciting tomorrow. Definitely tune in to watch that. It's going to be broadcast live, and if you can't catch it live, then you can watch a recording of it on the Bankless channel. It'll probably be made available tomorrow. Next, we have this amazing news that came from Marceau yesterday. Well, it's amazing tease. There's not really news just yet, but there's a Telegram channel here, and it says rETH and Chainlink. And what we can guess is that the Chainlink team is working with either people of the community or people on the team to get the Chainlink integration all set up. Now, I've talked on this channel before about why that's such an important thing. Chainlink integration for price feeds for rETH are going to open up a lot of DeFi projects, and they can make rETH accessible for those projects that they can't use right now. We talked about it last week about how important this is, and it's actually looks like hopefully it's going to happen soon. So that's very, very exciting. Next, we had this thing over here where Jasper said Mav's been quiet, I bet it's a contest update. So then he shares this image of Redstone about the rocket about to take off from a launch pad, and there's rocket fuel going to the rocket, which is really cool to see because obviously this channel is called Rocket Fuel. But it turns out that the rocket fuel that's being referred to in that image is explained in this tweet by Jasper. It says, "Let the games begin. The first of many incentive programs begins. Shout out to the Beethoven X team for these balanced rewards before our own optimism rewards start. Could we see RPL thrown in the mix too?" We already know that RPL rewards will be coming soon. So if you have a look at the returns, this is the wETH, which is the wrapped ETH, and rETH pair. Liquidity providing, it's fixed at 0.04%, and the APR at the moment on the reward is 101%, which is absolutely incredible. That number will probably come down fairly fast. However, I think that it'll probably stabilize at least for the next few weeks while those rewards are active in a very, very nice spot. And when you realize that the rETH rewards themselves are about 3.75%, I think, at the moment, then you realize that the rewards are going to be really juicy for liquidity providing for those pairs that have those incentives. So that's really great that the team is working on that. So yeah, the reason why the truck was called Rocket Fuel is this pair that's trading here is called Rocket Fuel, and it seems like they have funny names on all their different pairs. So this one's called Puff the Magic Dragon, which is whatever. And then it says, it breaks down the rewards over here. So it says you get 99% balanced rewards, and then 2.34 rETH APR, and then you get a 0.34 swap fees on top of that. So they work out what the rewards are. So if you have any rETH lying around and if you want to earn some rewards on that, that's a really cool place for you to go to get that done. Okay, next we have this story that Marceau talked about a few days ago, where he met someone from Messari and talked about his bull case for the RPL token. So he met with Kunal, and then Kunal today released the report on the Messari website and on the Messari Twitter, and he said anyone can be a node operator. With the merge coinciding with some major rocket pool improvements, what value could the protocol stand to capture? So they go through the whole case of what it's like to why Rocket Pool is in a unique position now where it can really pounce on these developments, and key capitalists are coming up that will improve Rocket Pool's pie size. And then on the protocol front, it's conjunction with ecosystem events and how that's going to line up as well. And here they're talking about low ETH bonded mini pools and how the rewards improve. And it says that if we can, right now at 16 ETH, you get a capital efficiency of 105%. Whereas if we get down to 2 ETH mini pools, then you get capital efficiency of 130%, which is absolutely, truly phenomenal in terms of rewards that they worked out, which we already know, which is why we're so excited about getting those pools set up and that technology developed. However, people in trading kind of shared some screenshots from the report, people who had access to it, which I can share right here with you now. It's Pop, Lock, and Rocket. I'm going to read it out to you. Rocket Pool is currently a small player among Ethereum staking solutions. However, the perfect confluence of events is on the horizon for the protocol to grow. The total amount of rETH staked should grow after the merge and the Shanghai update, increasing the opportunity for all staking providers. The Rocket Pool's share should also increase as an upcoming upgrade makes it more capital efficient. That's the less ETH bonded stuff that should happen before the end of the year. Its competitors also face headwinds that may open up further opportunities for Rocket Pool to gain market share. Assuming growth in these two key metrics, the proportion of ETH staked and Rocket Pool's share, we value RPL at 0.032 to 0.04 ETH, with an upside of 100 to 150% from its current price. So the current price is 0.015 ETH. So they're saying it's at least a 2x and maybe a 2.5x, basically. Now, if you actually look deeper into the report, which you can see somewhere here. Yes, sorry about that. Which you can see here. Then you can see that this is actually their base case, 0.32. However, when they crunch their numbers in the bearish case and conservative case, you see that the bearish case is that RPL goes to 0, and the conservative case that it goes to 0.004, which is a 75% reduction basically from where we are now. 70% reduction from where we are now. And then the base case is what they're saying is going to 0.32, which is 2x, just over 2x from where we are now. So these numbers that they're saying is projected for next October, which is a 13 to 14 month window that they're giving themselves. The aggressive case is 0.066, and their bullish case, if all the stars align for Rocket Pool in that time, is 0.115. Now, there's something really interesting here that you want to see. And what happened is, in the report, they actually used some fairly conservative metrics to gather that information. Now, what does it mean when I'm saying they use fairly conservative metrics? If you look at here at what Marceau says, he says, what's the difference, right? Someone asked him, what's the difference between Marceau's projections and Messari's projections? And Marceau says, I assume less than 70 to 90% of Rocket Pool will be staked. So that's one of the projections that they're making, is that such a high number will be staked. However, we know that the team has a big chunk that they won't stake, and Patricio has a chunk that will or will not get staked, and a lot is lost, and a lot is like people want to keep liquid. So there's a chunk of it that will not get staked. So those rewards will the price will automatically be higher because the rewards will be higher. He says, I can assume much higher RPL collateralization. This model is assuming a floor collateralization of 10%, I think. And right now the collateralization percent is around 80%. So for it to reach 10% in 13 months, something catastrophic will have to happen, because it's just impossible to get down to those numbers basically. And then Marceau goes on to say, I can't exactly follow the math on overall market share, but I think I'm attributing the highest slice of the market to Rocket Pool. So Marceau's projection is that we'll have 0.1 is his conservative / realistic number, and then 0.25, I think he said is his bullish number, and then long term, like I think he thinks even higher than that, which is a good 10x from here, more than 10x. Now, if you go back and if you have a look at the wait, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. There was something I was going to say about these numbers. Oh yes, here we go. So if you have a look at the percentages of what the probabilities are, this is what this line over here is. Sorry, this image is cropped. It says probabilities assigned. So the bearish case, they're saying that there's a 5% chance it goes to 0. I think those numbers are slightly high, but that's fine. The conservative case, where it goes down by 75%, is 25% chance. So the bearish scenario the bearish case in their scenario is 30% probability. The base case is 40%, aggressive case is 25%, and the bullish case is 5%. So the positive price impact is 70% possibility. That's obviously, we know with probabilities that like just because something is more likely to happen doesn't mean that it will happen. However, it's really interesting to see that they're giving a lot more weight to this bullish tendency. It's like definitely skewed more bullish, especially when you're considering that we're kind of like right here at the moment, like in the middle of these two numbers. So it's a big chance that we're going to go up from here, according to Messari. Now, these guys, like I said a few days ago, they're market experts. They know what they're talking about. They literally, like, you pay thousands of dollars to get access to these reports. So it's really amazing. And it definitely adds some gravitas and, like, you know, some weight to some of the theses that people in the Rocket Pool community have about where they expect the value of our RPL to go. So I think Marceau and Zero are actually feeling pretty good today because they've just been vindicated. But anyway, they'll be truly vindicated once the price actually goes to those numbers, because then they'll say we said it all along. And I'm so happy for that day when that day comes. I'll be really, really happy for them that they were right all along. I'm going to end on another really positive note. So we have 35% of all nodes are now in the smoothing pool, which is an absolutely incredible effort by the community, that we've had 35% of people sign in on day one pretty much, or 2 days now. It's truly wonderful to see that so many people are joining the smoothing pool. So I'm part of the smoothing pool, like I've already told you before. We have basically 27% of mini pools are now part of the smoothing pool as well. So it's really wonderful to see. Okay, so today's episode went way long, and I already knew it was going to go long because even doing the research took way longer today than it normally does. But 20 minutes is a new best. But hopefully tomorrow we'll go back to tomorrow we're not going to go back to a normal episode because we're going to be dissecting the Bullcast. So yeah, I'm sorry everyone. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the content, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're not too worried about the issues with the Merkle trees overnight. Like I said, Joe's already fixed it basically. So he's amazing. Send him love. He really, really deserves it. Like, he's been an absolutely incredible gargantuan effort overnight. Now I'm ready to stop. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.